Alright, how's everyone doing today? As always, I'm EpicLuca, and today I am playing Donkey Kong, released for the Game Boy, but I am playing it on my Super Game Boy, as you can see. And also, as you can see, there's no files here right now either. Admittedly, this is my second time trying to record this because apparently the saving with this game is very particular. Don't know how to explain it, but it kind of sucks. But that's no problem. I only got to World 3 last time, and the additional practice actually does help. Wow, and that was a lucky break. So these first few stages are going to be, you know, classic Donkey Kong inspired, but you get all the new mechanics that this game brings, such as you can see, my handstand, my handstand jump, which is pretty cool. Damn it, get up there. And you can't handstand jump through that? That kinda sucks. I could see why it might make the level a little too easy, I don't know, but that... You could jump through every other platform, but not that top one. And definitely one of the classic Donkey Kong type stages here. Let's see. What? Come on. Just gonna wait for you to throw that, and boom. Easy enough so far, nothing too complicated. That's the one thing I like about this game, is the difficulty sort of ramps up, and even on these early stages, which, we've all played a million times. Like I said, nothing complicated yet, because we've all played these stages to death, so, we're all going to be overly familiar with this. And admittedly, I never played this game in the arcade. I wasn't actually introduced to it until the NES version, which I never actually owned. This is the first Donkey Kong game I owned, even before any of the Donkey Kong Country games, which I think were around the same time, if not a little bit later. But early on in my gaming life, though, I did not get things right away like I do now. Oh, and also, before I forget, every time we defeat Donkey Kong, we get these little cutscenes, which as a kid, I always thought was a nice touch. And even today, for a Game Boy game, looks pretty cool. Because you don't see this all too often on a Game Boy cart. And this is one of the longer titles too, but now we have our first official level in the big city, where the game's real gameplay is going to start to come into play, which involves us grabbing that key over on the right and rescuing Pauline from the door. Let's see, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I was saying I didn't get games right away when they were new, like I do today. Probably because I was a little kid, so I had no real way of doing that. And I didn't get a Super Game Boy until like probably around the time this game came out, because I think I got my Super Game Boy when... Hell, I didn't even get the Super Nintendo until, like, the Super Game Boy was probably... Oh, and I keep getting sidetracked, but every time we get all of Pauline's items from the level, we get a bonus game, which... I failed. I like this one better than the other one, though, because at least you can get lives from it. But as I was saying, though, I didn't even get the Super Nintendo or Super Game Boy until I was 8, so I had the original Game Boy for like a year before that. Because I think I got the Game Boy when I was 7, and so the Game Boy had already been out for it came out 89, so like 3 years at that point. And the SNES had been out for 2 before I got it. So see, I did not get stuff right away. At least not back then. Now I can get stuff, you know, launch day if I really wanted to, but back then I feel like it was a lot more special getting this stuff just because there was that unknowing if you were gonna get it or not. Like, today for me now, oh, and this is the other bonus game, a crappy slot machine, which I am... Okay, that's probably the best I've ever done at it, at least during my recordings. Don't know if I've ever gotten all the Donkey Kong symbols or not. But yeah, back then, to me, getting, like, you know, it's a case of if you're gonna get it. Because you didn't know back then. Now, for me today, it's not really so much a matter of if, it's a matter of when it's gonna happen, because I know it will. Come on. Although, I'm trying to think if I even had Donkey Kong for the Game Boy, or if I think I probably got this at that same Christmas, too, so... Yeah, I got this, the Super Nintendo, and Super Game Boy, like, all at the same time, which was pretty cool, and... For Super Game Boy, I also got, or not for Super Game Boy, but for Super Nintendo, I got that bundle pack, which was cool. Which came with Mario All-Stars and, I believe, Zelda? Yeah, it did come with Link to the Past. It also came with Yoshi's Safari for the, that was compatible with the Super Scope, if people remember that being a thing. Which I know that's an obscure piece of technology. I think I was the only one I knew who had it too, but I regret selling that and all my old stuff too, which that's probably the only thing from the old days that I haven't gotten back yet, which I still want to. Oh, and this cutscene's gonna show off another of our new mechanics, which is these bridges, which I think is pretty cool. That's one thing I like about some of these early cutscenes too, is the fact that they show off all the mechanics that you're, you know, upcoming mechanics that you're gonna learn. Like, level 1-5 is gonna have those bridges. I can guarantee you that. See, it's gonna have them. Oh, really? And I never quite figured out if it's better or not to start it from the center or from the side. I think it might be better from the side, but I just always have a habit of doing it from the center. Well, at least I did better that time. See, the lives in this game also are another thing that they're pretty generous with, because look at that, I have 23 lives and I'm not even out of the first official world yet. And they almost guaranteed put one on every stage too, which there's a lot of stages in this game. For those in the know, you already know, and for those who don't, I'm not going to tell you. Because, yeah, you'll see, it's a longer Game Boy title. And didn't even mean to backflip there, but... Oh, and I put it in... Well... Yeah, and that's the other thing I'm indifferent towards about this game, is that Mario can take fall damage. Well, not take damage, he only has the one hit point, but... Mario should be able to fall from a great height without getting hurt, like Like, that wasn't a thing before. Like, you know, the Mario trilogy, Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, all that stuff, he couldn't take fall damage. Now, I don't know if he could in the original arcade, but if you fall from too great a height, you're gonna die, which sucks. Like, I still feel kind of indifferent towards that. But if you couldn't, it would make some stages impossibly easy. Because you'll see, we'll have to do some stages later where we'll have to descend gradually. And if you could just fall, then, you know, it'd be way too easy. I'm just gonna get rid of him. And there's really no, like, I always rush, but there's like no reason for me to rush. I'm not in a hurry. It's not like this is one of those time attacks that I've done in the past, and I looked at the scoreboard for this too, and I'm not gonna attempt that because people have impossible times that practically borderline on cheating. And I want to say that they are. But that's just me. And hey, we have our first official actual Donkey Kong fight, which is cool. And in this one, we just have to pick up the barrels and chuck the barrels at them. You know, nothing too special. In fact, every last stage of the world is gonna be us fighting him throwing something at him. Most of the time it'll be barrels, but I'm trying to remember if other weapons come into play, but... And we get a new mechanic as we leave our first world, too, which is also cool that they put cutscenes, you know, showing us transitioning from one world to the next. And it's amazing how many cutscenes we managed to get into this game, too. But damn, look at that, 35 lives, and it's only the end of the first world. That's insane. But for now, we're gonna stop here because it's the end of the first world. So, join me next time when I tackle the second one. Until then, as always, thanks for watching.